You've heard it a million times. You should be stretching more. Whether you're lifting heavy weights or just spending a bit too much time at a desk, it probably is a good idea. But do we actually do it? And if we do, are we doing it regularly? I'm guessing not. Well, at least I know I don't. But is it all that it's made out to be? After all, I feel fine. But what if I could feel better? So I wanted to find out for myself if it really does work. And if so, how much progress would I see after 30 days? Okay, so this is where I'm starting from. My hamstrings are pretty tight to say the least, but I can link my arms behind my back, but for some reason, only on one side. So I've definitely got a few imbalances to say the least. I'm sure I'm going to find way more in the coming days, but yeah, I think I'm worse than I thought I was. I wanted to make this something that is reasonably easy to follow along to, so I'll be doing a mixture of static stretching and CARs. I know I hadn't heard of it either, but apparently it should improve blood flow and joint mobility. Sounds pretty good if you ask me. And my goal is to do around 15 to 20 minutes total each day. I even decided to make a sheet to help keep me accountable, and that way I can make a note of what I did and for how long. So in the evening of day one, I grabbed my laptop, loaded up a video and got into it. And in this session, I decided to do a 20-minute full body static stretch. So following along to a video was actually really good. It kind of helps you know when to breathe and when to relax different parts of your body. But what it did do is kind of made me realize that in the past when I've stretched just by myself, I'm probably not doing it to the level that's needed. So this is what the average day kind of looks like during this challenge. I chose to practice CARs either in the morning or midway through the day as a break from my work. And then in the evening, usually before bed or after a workout, I would do a 15 to 20 minute static stretching routine. The first few days were pretty rough. I felt stiff and uncomfortable. I knew that my hamstrings were tight and my back felt pretty sore. And to be honest, some of the days the challenge really was just to get it done when I wasn't really feeling it. However, what I will say is that I always felt better for it. So I'm now on day 8 and it is also Christmas today, but that doesn't mean that I get to take a day off, even if I am very much full of food. Time to get into it. For me, this was actually the perfect end to Christmas after what felt like a really busy day. My body and mind definitely thanked me for some quality time. So why am I doing this challenge? Well, apart from just being intrigued by the results, I'm now at a point in my life where looking after my body is a priority. I definitely don't feel as indestructible as I did in my teens or my 20s, and I've got one eye on my future self, and I know they'd be telling me to look after my body. With so many of us spending countless hours at a desk and constantly looking downwards towards our phones, I think we could all do with showing our body the care it deserves. Now, I'm not saying that a little habit like 10 minutes of stretching every day is going to fix everything, but maybe the benefits of it are worth it in the long run. So I'm now basically halfway through the challenge and I would say it's going pretty well and I'm definitely getting used to all the different movements. I'll be honest though, the last 2 weeks I've definitely felt a lot more achy than I usually do. But that definitely doesn't mean that it's not working. If anything, I'm probably just using body parts that I'm not used to and activating different muscles than I usually would. So I guess after a good stretch, I probably would expect to ache a bit the next day. Will it still be like that after 30 days? We'll have to see. So one interesting thing that I started to notice was that as good as it felt to move my body and to stretch, the thing that I look forward to the most was actually the time to myself and the opportunity to be present. And when I wasn't following along to a video, I usually did the practice in silence or with some very relaxing music. Maybe after all this, the biggest benefit would actually be the mental side of things rather than the physical changes. So 30 days is completed. I'm pumped that I made it all the way through. And here are the key things that I learned from it. First thing is that consistency is key. Some days it might have only been like a 10-minute stretch, but I always showed up. There were days that I really felt like skipping, but even if it got late in the day and I was tempted to just call it a night and go to bed, I made sure I got it done, and I felt a lot better for doing it. The second point is that you really don't need a lot of spare time. If you're stretching for like 30 minutes or more, then that's obviously fantastic. But if you're new to it or if you're busy, 5 or 10 minutes is more than enough to make you feel great. The goal simply is to move, engage with your body, and enjoy a little bit of self-care. And the last point is that it's all about progress and not perfection. When I started this, I soon realized that I kind of suck, and it would have been really easy for me to get disheartened and to give up, or on the flip side, try extra hard and push too far to try and prove that I'm better than I actually am. The key really is to keep humble and just keep doing those small improvements every single day, and that's really what counts. So does it actually work? And I would say it probably depends what you consider by work. Am I more flexible than when I started? Very slightly, maybe. But it's definitely not a huge difference. If I was to continue for months and then even years, I do think you would see some pretty good changes. What it definitely does do is it improves your day, even if it's only like 5 or 10%. I would say that when I do it in the morning or in the evening, I feel much better afterwards. And it's not just a physical thing, it really is a mental one as well. I would say those 20 minutes that you get purely for yourself, you kind of notice things about your body and your mind, and yeah, it's just really valuable. And it could be stretching or something totally different, but just turning up every day when you don't really feel like it and getting something done is just really good for you. It's resilience. Now, will I continue doing this every single day going forwards? Maybe not every day, just because I am a human after all, but I do think it is good to do, and I can see myself integrating it into my life going forwards. I really hope you enjoyed the video and were able to take something from it. If you did, then it would be incredible if you considered subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.